and their statements they've made on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the facts and circumstances of the XRP case, I don't believe that XRP is a security under those standards and statements. And it'd be quite problematic for the SEC to capture this under their definition, because it would inadvertently capture most of the cryptocurrency space if desired.
All right, everybody, welcome back for another one. And I wanted to start this video off with this clip from Charles Hoskinson talking about how he basically doesn't believe XRP is a security. But the most important part that he actually states that I agree with is that this would affect the entire crypto space. So if you're thinking at this point that this is funny, Ripple's under attack, everyone else is safe, make no mistake that if Ripple were to eventually lose this case, pretty much the same exact case could be brought onto every single crypto project who has done an ICO. So stay tuned for the outcome, but personally I believe that Ripple will win the case, and that ultimately it will establish the industry standard for cryptocurrency, and going forward we will finally have that regulatory clarity that everyone has been wanting. So, but yeah, if you want to check out that clip or get some more important XRP information as it comes across, you can follow Stephen Bull Deep at DeepSon. And yeah, he's prominent in the crypto and XRP community, and he always shares valuable information. So, I mean, if you actually look at the case, they're saying the SEC is charging Ripple and two executives with conducting $1.3 billion in unregistered security offerings. The company alleges that Ripple raised funds beginning in 2013 through the sale of digital assets known as XRP in an unregistered securities offering to investors in the US and worldwide. So the accusation is that basically they sold $1.3 billion worth of unregistered securities. All right, and as I said, well, guess who else has done that? Any other crypto project who did an ICO, they all can fall under this same exact thing, including Cardano with Charles Hoskinson. He knows that, that's why he said it. So yeah, just stay tuned. What else we got here? Oh, one really important thing I wanted to point out. So Brad Garlinghouse put out this report yesterday, said the SEC's attack on crypto in the United States. You can go ahead and read this if you want. That's the title right on Ripple's website. But the thing I wanted to point out to you guys right here is this main point. Brad Garlinghouse says, Chris Larsen, the co-founder of Ripple, and I had the option to settle this separately. We could do that, and it would all be behind us. Not happening. That's how confident Chris and I are that we are right, and we'll aggressively fight. We are not only on the right side of the law, but we will be on the right side of history. That's the most important part. So they're planning to be on the right side of history. And I'm telling you what they're trying to do. They're trying to go to court and settle this for all of the crypto space once and for all, at what is a security and what isn't one in crypto. So I think historically there will be, this will go down in history books, this situation, because it's going to rewrite the law, right? The last time we've really had the laws put in place was the Securities Exchange Act of 1933. So we definitely need some updated laws, and I think that's exactly what Ripple is trying to do. Next up, I want to play this clip from a Ripple attorney. This is Stuart Alderati talking, but let's go ahead and have a watch.
We're not looking to compete with fiat. We're not looking to compete with central banks. And the XRP sits, as I said, on an open, permissionless ledger. How do I know that it's open and permissionless? Because the chief technology officer at Ripple tells me it is. He explains it to me, but I also have hard evidence. The SEC announced about a month or two ago that they're going to establish a node on the XRP ledger and other open and permissionless ledgers. The SEC didn't call Ripple to ask permission to do that. They're just going to do that.
All right, and I wanted to show you that. First and foremost, if you want to get some good information once again on YouTube for XRP. This is Darren Moore Jr.'s YouTube, and Alex Cobb was just sharing it as well. They're both XRP YouTubers. So yeah, they cover a lot of good information. But anyway, as you can see here, the SEC has already confirmed that they are running a node on the XRP ledger. So why would they be running a node on the XRP ledger if they just intend to destroy it? It doesn't really make sense. They've also confirmed they're running Bitcoin and Ethereum nodes. So take that for what it's worth. Stuart Alderati, along with all the other attorneys and lawyers that work for Ripple, they are all very intelligent and educated and experienced individuals. So I expect them to be able to succeed in any kind of court case that comes to fruition. All right. The narrative now, they're trying to smash the XRP price down. I personally believe that there's more to the story. I always do. And we all know at this point that XRP was breaking out. It looked like it definitely had potential to keep exploding. I think within a week, it would have flipped Ethereum. Its market cap was about half of Ethereum's. I think Ripple was about to make another 100% move or so. And then all of a sudden you get this lawsuit. You get it right after the flare drop too. It's just all, there's too much coincidence in there, right? For it to be a coincidence. I think it was all planned on purpose. And not to get off topic, but you know, Brad himself said that they could have already settled the case. Now, don't you think if they really wanted this to go away, be under the rug, and just no one know about it, they would have settled it behind the scenes? I think they would. They're trying to make a point, and they're trying to be on the right side of history. They're fighting for the crypto community as a whole. If you guys can't respect that, I don't know what to tell you. All right, but I wanted to talk about this. Like I said, they're trying to hammer home the FUD, right? An SEC victory in Ripple case would render XRP untradeable, market pros say. So I'm not going to go any more detail in the article. Point being here, they're trying to argue that if XRP is deemed that it was a security in its initial offering, that all these exchanges would have to delist it. Well, I'm about to get into a little more in detail, but that's just not the case. Guess what else is trading on Coinbase right now? Probably the most compliant exchange in existence, EOS, right? EOS has already went through a lawsuit with the SEC, and it has already been deemed a security, all right, and no longer a security. They were saying it was during the ICO process, which is exactly what XRP would be, all right, which I'll talk about, like I said, a little more in detail. But if this were the case, right, then every single exchange that's trading XRP right now, not only, you're right, they would all have to delist it, but they could all be charged with fraud or illegal acts as well, because none of these crypto exchanges are broker dealers, but yet they would be trading a security, which means they would have to have a broker dealer license. So literally all of these exchanges would have to technically have a lawsuit as well. Do you see it going that way, or do you see a fine being paid and a slap on the wrist? Right? I think we might see a fine and a slap on the wrist. Show you why. All right. As I mentioned, so this was just settled last year, basically. SEC orders blockchain company to pay $24 million penalty for unregistered ICO. The SEC today announced settled charges against blockchain technology company Block One for conducting an unregistered initial coin offering of digital tokens that raised the equivalent of several $billions over approximately 1 year. The company agreed to settle the charges by paying a $24 million civil penalty. So, kind of similar to Ripple and XRP, you have Block One, which is the company entity that created the EOS ledger, right? So, Block One got sued, paid a $24 million fine, and the EOS token has been trading on all these exchanges since it launched, basically. So, it was trading as an unregistered ICO, and nothing happened out of it, right? Did Coinbase ever delist EOS? No, it's still on there. So I think worst case scenario, as I've told people already, you could see Ripple have to do something similar to this. $24 million fine and it gets determined that during the time of the sale, XRP was a security, and then going forward it will no longer be considered one because it's decentralized and on its own ledger and a separate entity from Ripple, just like Block 1 and EOS. All right, so when trying to determine what to expect here, I think it's smart to look back to cases that have already been resolved, right? And the biggest one so far in crypto been EOS with a $24 million penalty. So another one, SEC obtains final judgment against Kick Interactive for unregistered offering. Not going to get in any more detail here, really. Just that the final judgment permanently enjoins Kick for violating the registration provisions of Section 5A, 5C of the Securities Act of 1933, as I've mentioned. So the resolution here is Kick is further required for the next 3 years to provide notice to the Commission before engaging in enumerated future issuances, offers, sales, and transfers of digital assets. Kick also pays a $5 million penalty. So for those of you who don't know, Kick, the messaging app, did an ICO as well for their token they created, and the SEC didn't like that, paid a $5 million fine. Now they gotta engage with them for 3 years anytime they do issuances, offers, sales, or transfers of digital assets. Did the world come crashing down on them? I think the company actually had to go out of business because they're a tiny little messaging app compared to Ripple being one of the most valuable startups in history. Moving on, just some other cases to know that happened, right? Elon Musk also got charged with securities fraud for his tweeting, right? This was also settled over paying a fine. SEC charges Amazon finance manager and family with insider trading. This just happened. I think this is still going on. They're saying between January 2016 and 18, they were doing some insider trading, whatever. My point here is that the SEC sues people all the time. I think that the Ripple case is going to be historic because Ripple is the biggest blockchain company technically in existence, have the most money. It makes perfect sense to use them as an example for going forward what the new regulations will be for crypto. All right, just my opinion. Another company that I talk about all the time, for those of you who don't know as well, Riot Blockchain was sued for a little bit, in 2018 they were considered to have manipulated the market, a pump and dump scheme by the SEC. It says here, SEC charged 20 people and entities in September for what it called classic pump and dump schemes. Well, this was all settled, they paid their fine, and they moved on, just like everyone does. SEC just gets their chunk of the money, what really happens. And what's happened to the company since then? Well, for those of you that didn't see this, just 2 days ago, if you're following Riot, this is why the price has been exploding. Riot Blockchain announces unexpected 65% increase in Bitcoin mining hash rate capacity from the purchase of 15,000 S19 Pro and S19J Pro Antminers from Bitmain. So they're expanding even more, and this new order of miners is expected to significantly increase Riot's hash rate, Bitcoin mining hash rate, to 3.8 exahash from 2.3. So, a little off topic from Ripple, but I had to throw this in here because they were sued by the SEC 1 year, and now it's settled, paid their fine. Now, you take this hash rate, 3.8 exahash, they're about to have almost 3% of the entire Bitcoin hash rate. So they just growing. They're about to raise $200 million more dollars selling more shares, and I have a feeling that they're going to use the money they raise to buy more mining equipment and get more hash rate. So they are becoming a massive company for Bitcoin mining, and bullish going forward. I expect this stock to continue to dominate, right? But last but not least, I think this article is perfect for me to end on. Ripple CTO says majority vote would force the burning of billions in XRP. Ripple CTO David Schwartz tweeted the community could force the burning of billions of the protocol's native XRP token held in escrow to prevent the drop in price that would likely occur should billions in frozen tokens ever flood the market. If nodes, validators, and the community at large got together and we agree that it's better for the community to burn the 50 billion XRP, would that be possible? David Schwartz responds, imply that majority rule would win in such a decision. Yes, there would be nothing Ripple could do to stop that from happening. Public blockchains are very democratic. I wanted to talk about this. This occurred just 3 weeks ago at this point, about that he came out and just hinted at Ripple burning their escrow. I'm not sure at this point that that was a coincidence either, right? So why is he talking about 3 weeks ago that they could burn their escrow, and then all of a sudden this lawsuit comes out that they confirmed they already had the option to settle separately? So clearly this has been ongoing, and now they're talking about potentially burning the escrow. Well, Stellar has already done that, right? They got rid of all their tokens that they held. So I'm thinking maybe on the back end of all of this, Ripple pays a fine, and they either have to burn their escrow or distribute it, maybe to other companies, financial institutions, or maybe to the community. I don't know. I don't know what the end result would be, but I find it very interesting that a few weeks ago they're talking about burning the escrow, and now we have this lawsuit. And I think that this lawsuit is really going to come down to that escrow, because I talked about this in my last video, actually, talking about the Coinbase IPO being valued at $28 billion. Well, let's say that this lawsuit never happened and Ripple made it all the way to trying to IPO, while simultaneously, let's say XRP is pumped and it's trading at $10. So hypothetically, right, which could easily happen. It was already at $4, and it was clearly $4 as an all-time high and clearly on its way up. So $10 is not unrealistic. At that point, it would already be getting close to flipping Bitcoin as the #1 overall, and also Ripple would have 50 billion tucked away that they own. So if they had 50 billion and it's trading at $10, then they would have $500 billion worth of XRP to their name. That would make Ripple, this startup company, one of the largest, most dominant companies in the world. So I think that the SEC saw that this was potential to happen very soon, so they wanted to step on it as soon as they could. And I think that the final settlement is going to come down to something having to happen with the escrow, because they probably don't want this little company to end up having trillions of dollars in valuation in their XRP escrow, right? Because that would make them a very powerful company, more than they already are. All right, so that's my take on this. Once again, I'm not selling. Price is getting pounded down. Hey, it's a buying opportunity to me, because none of the fundamentals changed about XRP. It's still extremely fast and efficient, and it solves the actual problem that it was designed to do, and that's to settle money transmissions around the world rapidly, which proof of work Bitcoin cannot do, and Ethereum cannot do either. Even while it's switching to proof of stake, still not capable of doing that. I don't see very many proof of stake cryptos that move like Ripple does, Stellar either. They're just both extremely fast and do exactly what they were designed to do. So fundamentals haven't changed. XRP still moves around the world very efficiently. It does its job. So right now, this might be your last chance to get some at an extremely great price. So that about wraps it up. Hope that was informative. As always, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.
What is a cashless society? What does it actually mean in a literal or high-level sense?
Money will become like these, relics of a different age, and will only be found in places like this. In other words, hard cash will disappear. It will become electronic, transferred by things like these.
Then Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Mobile payment transactions in China reached a cumulative total of 277.4 trillion RMB in 2018, ranking #1 in the world, according to the recently released statistical report on internet development in China. As of June 2019, online payment users in the country reached 633 million. The cashless society is now approaching.
When's the last time you paid with cash? Well, chances are cash has taken a backseat to the plastic in your wallet and smartphone pay apps.
Denver 7's Ryan Luby explains the digital pay revolution and why not everyone is on board.
A cashless society, a cashless society.
The cashless society.
The cashless society is now approaching.
The cashless society.